What's going on, guys? Yanni from 801 Garage here. Today we've got a treat for you guys. So we have my friend Santiago's 2012 STI here, and we're going to be doing a Cobb SF intake install on it, and we're going to be doing the Accessport install and the reflash for stage 1. So he's finally going stage 1. Hopefully he's going stage 2 soon. When he does, we'll get that install video for you guys as well. But go ahead and stay tuned. We're going to be doing all the installs on his car. We're going to get some sound clips from the inside, the outside, and walk you guys through the whole entire process of everything. Cool? Let's do it. Alright guys, so first real quick, what you got to do is we got to take out this giant scoop right here in the front. All it is 2 clips right here, flathead screwdriver. You undo these clips and then you can pop them out. After you got both these clips out right here, the back of the scoop, it's not held in by any clips, it's just kind of a little scoop that slides into your box back here. And as soon as you take these 2 out, you just kind of slide it out, but make sure you're keeping this close because we're going to put it back in at the end of the install. Alright, so we got the 2 clips popped out, and so you just grab onto the scoop. Sometimes if you haven't taken it off before or in a while, there's so much heat that the plastic has kind of expanded, so it's a little tight, but don't be scared to just pull. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab, and you're going to pull kind of back and then up towards the top. And just kind of wiggle it out, and then it's out like that. So there's a little scoop that just kind of slides into your airbox. Alright, so after you've got your big scoop off, now you got to take off your sensor here. It's just a little pinch clip right here. Pinch it down, take it off, and then with a Phillips head, you're going to undo these 2 screws, take off the actual sensor, and make sure you don't misplace these screws or the sensor, because these are also going to go in your MAF housing for your new Cobb intake. And there it is. Again, make sure you put this in a place where you're not going to lose it, and be careful with this because you don't want to break it. It's very expensive. Alright, now we're going to take off, well, not take off, but loosen these 2 screws right here with a flathead, and then that'll let us take off this hose and let us wiggle this part out. Now, after we do these, we're going to undo these clips and then kind of wiggle out the back of the airbox, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, now there's going to be these 2 hoses running out along. I'm just going to take them out of this clip right here and then remove this from under it. And make sure you keep a hold tight on this because if you don't, it's going to fall. Alright guys, now to take off this assembly, there's 2 bolts you got to undo. One, you're going to need a 10mm with an extension, and then for the other one, you need a 10mm that you have some room to work with, because this second bolt is going to be right here. It's right behind your headlight, and you don't have very much room to work in there, so you got to make sure you're getting something small that you can actually get in here to undo the actual nut, okay? Alright, so I just used my wrench just to loosen it a little bit, and then just you can play with your finger for the rest of the way and it should be good to go. Now this one's the one that you want to be a little bit careful with, because since it's so far down there you don't want to lose it, so just kind of keep an eye on it and be careful. Aha! Okay guys, now I dropped my 10mm socket in there, so I'll be back in a second when I find it. Alright guys, so after you take off this front screw, this metal piece is going to be right behind it. Make sure you take that out, because if you don't grab it, it's just going to fall in. So grab this and just set it aside. Okay, so then, when you take it off, your airbox is going to be together with the 2 clips on it. Just take these 2 clips off. It's going to separate the airbox. You don't have to do that, but for me I found it's just a little bit, makes it a little easier to take this off. And then you're going to just wiggle this back part out. If you look down here on this front hose, on this back part there's a little clip that attaches to the hose. Just move the hose out of the way. And then wiggle this guy out like that. There's the back. And then there's nothing else holding in the front. Grab the front. Alright guys, so now the next part of the install, we're actually going to put the Cobb intake now. If you got this straight from Cobb, this is going to be a little bit different. If you bought it straight from Cobb, you're going to have a box that goes around it right here. We got ours used, so we didn't have the box with it. But basically for the box, what you're going to do is you're going to set it in right here. It's going to be the same shape as the one you just took out. And it's going to bolt in 3 places. Down here, the one that was a pain in the ass for us to get to. The one that was behind the headlight, and then one that we're not taking off because we don't need to, but if you have the box you're going to, is right here. So you're going to take this one off, and then slide the box in, and that's going to be one of the mounting points for the box. Now, 2 more things for if you do have the box. Your cord right here to plug into your MAF sensor. On the box, there's a little cutout in the back. At the very bottom, you need to put this under the box and pull it out from under. Same with this mounting bracket. It goes under the box and it places right on this second pain in the ass hole right here, and then you just put the box on top of everything. Alright guys, just real quick so you can know what I'm talking about. This is the hole that we're mounting the bracket into. So this was the one that was a pain in the ass for us to get to, but now you know which one I'm talking about here. Alright guys, so then we take our mounting bracket, and then it's the long gray screw, the one that was right in here, the one we were having a hard time with. Just put it right in there. Go ahead and just hand thread it in. Okay, when I put it, don't thread it all the way in yet. You still want to be able to move it around, because this moves left and right. And depending on how you're lining up your intake right here, you don't want to tighten it all the way until you finish tightening everything else, so that everything else lines up nice and tight. Alright guys, so now all you do is you put your intake together. So you're going to take the blue part, or black, however it comes in your box, whatever color you got. One opening is going to be wider, one's going to be smaller. The wider one goes to the new MAF housing, the smaller one goes over towards your intake system. And then all you're going to do is put the hose in, put the new MAF housing into it, and then take your cone, put it on the MAF housing, and then just tighten these 3 bolts, and then you're good to go. Now when you're tightening these, make sure that the way you're tightening them is going to be easy for you to access them later. So you see the way I have these all turned, they're very easily accessible in case you ever need to take these off. Okay, now that has your intake all in. Now what you're going to do is on each side of the mounting bracket that we put in, is a place for a bolt that connects to the MAF housing. You're going to take your bolt, line it up with the holes for the intake, and then just hand thread these in. Again, just like the bottom one, only hand thread them right now. We'll fully tighten them after, when everything is all situated the way we want it. Now be careful, make sure you have a good hold on these, because again, you can drop these down and it's not very much fun to go get them back. I had to do that with my 10mm. Alright. If you're looking at them, it's got bolt, washer, go straight in. Alright, so get everything situated with these, and then go ahead and bolt up your bottom bolt and these 2 right here. get all these nice and tight, but be careful with any bolts that you're using on the MAF housing. Like this one right here and these two. You want to tighten it just to where your hand is going to go and then leave it there. You don't want to crack any of that plastic because this is where your air is being read. And so if you have any cracks in there, you do not want that. Check all your bolts. Okay. Now from here, you just got to reinstall your MAF sensor and then take your wiring, plug it in, and then we'll move on to the Cobb Accessport. Alright guys, so you position your MAF sensor on there, line up the 2 screw holes. The screws that we took off from the original one are a Phillips head. Cobb provides you with these Allen wrench ones. So go ahead and just screw these into the holes. Be careful not to drop these. And then again, be careful with the sensor. You don't want to break it. And then after you're done with those, don't forget to re-plug in your MAF sensor. Otherwise your car's going to throw you all kinds of crazy codes. And that's it. Ta-da, we're all done. Again, if you did the box, you're going to set this inside the box, and then at the end you just put the cover on, put the 4 Allen screws into the box, and then that's it. You guys have a brand new Cobb intake. Now what we're going to do is go walk you through the process of how to install your new access port and how to flash your new tune for being able to run this guy. Alright guys, so I almost forgot this last part. We got to reinstall the cone. If you have the box is going to be the same as your stock one, where it has a little square in it where you slide this into it and then just set it down. But we don't have that right now, so we're just going to set it down, put the clips back in. And then you just re-click them in. Now we're actually done. If you do have the box, it gives you a little bit more of a cleaner look because you have kind of a little stock look except for the blue hosing. But we like to put all the parts that we can back on so we don't lose anything. Okay, now for reals we're done. Let's go to the access port. Alright guys, so 2 things you're going to need to do here for your access port. 1, you need your actual access port, and 2, you have your little cord that's got your OBD2 sensor in it. That plugs into the bottom of your steering column. It's just down at the bottom. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take your cord after you've plugged it in, maybe. Okay, so you take your cord, take your plug, go ahead and just plug it into the bottom. The little part with the arrow on it, that's the front of it, that's what you want. And we're going to boot this up. Okay, now if this is your first time installing this, you're going to get just the basic layout of what each button does and what you can do with it. So you just hit OK. You're only going to have 2 options if this is your first time: install or troubleshooting. This is for if you have any codes, your check engine light is on or anything, you can actually use your access port to check all that stuff. But we're going to go install. You want your key in the on position. Your access port is going to verify what kind of car you have. Make sure it's the correct one. For us, it's the 2012 STI. That's correct. You're going to hit the middle button to continue. And then now you just kind of want to hang out. Okay, so here is where it's going to have you select your first map. As you saw in the beginning of the video, we installed the Cobb intake. If you didn't, then you can run any of these stage 1 maps right here, depending on what kind of fuel you use. There's a stage 191, stage 193, and then you just kind of want to run it based on what kind of gas you have available in your area. Since we just did the intake, we're going to scroll down to stage 1 plus SF. We are here in Utah, so we have 91 octane. So you want to do stage 1 SF91 for the kind of gas we have, and we hit enter. Okay, now for this, it always is going to give you this message that says it recommends that your battery is fully charged, so your battery doesn't die in the middle of doing this, so it doesn't mess up anything with your ECU. We're just going to hit continue. Okay, now what your access port is going to do first, it's going to save your factory flash on your car. In case you ever have to go back to stock, then this has it saved in there. So first we're saving all of that, and then it's going to add the new flash in there. With this new V3, it's actually super easy to install it, uninstall it, go to stage 1, stage 2, depending on your mods, or go back to stock. It's just quick, few buttons. There we're at 65%. Alright guys, so sorry about that. The battery actually died real quick right there. So, this kind of happened off camera, but when you're reflashing your new stuff on there, you're going to have some flashing lights on the dash, things are going to turn on and off. That's fine, don't worry about that, don't worry about it. So now we have installation successful, turn ignition key to the off position to complete. Turn it off, continue. Now it's just reminding you to connect your access port to your computer for updates, or you should be good to go. So now, I like to take off the key completely, go in on position again, let everything situate, and you're good to go, all done. So now, again, with your access port, now that you have this, you have tons of things you can do. You can read live performance, you can do 0 to 60 times, track your quarter miles, or you can set up different gauges. You can have up to 6 gauges on here for if you're going to leave it on your car. Now, the car's on right now, so you have all the different stuff going. You have gear position, fuel economy, you can use this as a boost gauge if you don't have one. There's so many things you can do with this. We can go into it in a later video if you guys want to. Just go ahead and let me know in the comments. But now we're going to get some driving videos of this, so let's get going with that. Once more, this is Yanni from 801 Garage. If you guys have any questions about what we did today, I think I covered mostly everything. But if you do get the intake with the box in it and you have some questions about it, go ahead and just leave it down in the comments below and I'll go ahead and answer all your questions. His was a little bit different just because we didn't have the box. But if you do have the box, just let me know and I'll answer all your questions. But like I said, if you guys liked it, awesome. Like, subscribe, share it with all your friends. I think this one's pretty useful that most of you guys are going to be interested in, because even if you want to stay mostly stock, almost everybody goes stage 1. So I hope it helped you guys out. If you guys liked it, again, let me know. Questions, comments, concerns. See you guys next time.